There is a character in The Eminence in Shadow that Western fans turned into a dog girl meme almost overnight. And Asian fans look at the exact same character and see something structurally different, a loyal warrior who exposes how absurd Shadow Garden really is. That gap is what I want to unpack today. The character is Delta, fourth seed of the Seven Shadows, Wolf Therianthrope, real name Sarah. Zero filter, maximum chaos, fangs out at all times. Western fan communities on Reddit and Twitter latched onto the dog behavior, the sniffing, the growling, the unhinged loyalty, and meme-ified it into a good girl archetype almost immediately. And here's the thing, Delta can actually fly, deploy bat wings, and hold her own against some of the most dangerous fighters in the series. The meme flattened all of that into chaotic dog girl. Asian fans, especially on Bilibili and Japanese forums, never really adopted that framing. They read her Batwing combat as the serious power statement it is. So where does this split come from? I think it's partly because Western audiences arrived at this show through HIDIVE's world premiere of Season 2 at Anime Expo 2023, already primed for power fantasy. The dog behavior read as comedic gatmo. But in Japan, Chunebi Waoh, that whole delusion of grandeur syndrome, is the lens. Delta's unfiltered instinct sits inside that self-aware comedy framework differently. And this is where the structural reading gets interesting. In East Asian storytelling, and yes, I know this is a power fantasy ice guy, but hear me out, the loyal subordinate who acts on raw instinct rather than calculated strategy has a very specific role. She is the one who reveals the absurdity of the hierarchy she serves. Delta is exactly that character. Sid invented the cult of DAH blows as a roleplay. He made the whole thing up. Then it turned out to be real. Delta does not know any of this. She genuinely believes in Shadow, genuinely fights for him, and her absolute sincerity is the comedic engine of the show. That dynamic, the punchline who is also deeply loyal, is a distinctly East Asian comic relief structure. Delta's civilian form, her name is Sarah, appears in quieter scenes, and there is something almost shoujo about her concerned expressions and her protectiveness. Asian fans consistently read Sarah mode as emotional depth. Western meme culture largely did not engage with it, because Sarah does not produce reaction image content the way Feral Delta does. Shadow himself is an interesting contrast. He constructed an entire fake mythology, and Delta is the follower who takes that mythology completely seriously. Structurally speaking, that is not just comedy, that is a commentary on the relationship between leaders who perform belief and followers who genuinely hold it. Asian readers picked up that layer. Western coverage largely did not. The reception data tracks with this split. The show sits around 7.7 on Dubon and above 8 on Mail, broadly well received, but critics note thin plotting. Western critics focus on Sid as the core appeal. Asian reviewers more often highlight the Seven Shadows ensemble, and Delta specifically, as the emotional and comedic anchors of the whole thing. Here's what I keep coming back to, and this might be a stretch, so tell me if I'm off. The Eminence in Shadow is a meta-narrative about a Chunebi Waoh fantasy that accidentally became real. Western readings center that irony on Sid. Asian readings distribute it across the Seven Shadows. Delta, as the most earnest believer in the whole organization, carries the most weight of that second reading. A theatrical film, the Zonke Waoh Hen arc, translated roughly as Resonance arc, is confirmed in production for 2027, per KADOKW Anime's official announcement. Delta's arc is unresolved going into that film. Whether the movie leans into Western meme framing or Asian structural reading may actually shape how the character lands for the next generation of viewers. Delta is not just a meme. She is the character who makes the central joke of this franchise actually land, the most loyal soldier in an organization her leader built on pure fiction. I'm curious which framing resonates with you. Does the dog girl read feel reductive, or does it capture something real? Drop your take in the comments. And subscribe, long-form deep dives every week.